In today's video, I'll be exposing Kendrick Lamar's wife, Whitney Alford, because her other character is Queen Naija. And shout out to my wife, Divine Sade, because she actually exposed this 2 years ago. And they're doing major damage control to her video right now because when she made this video in 2022, nobody even knew that Kendrick Lamar had a wife. Even I never knew that information until she made the video, because Kendrick Lamar really tries to hide his wife. I guess because it contradicts his character, because he tries to be pro-black, but yet he's not dating a black woman. But anyways, shout out to Divine Sade, because she exposed this 2 years ago before anyone even knew who Whitney Alford was. And all of a sudden, now they want to bring this to light with the Kendrick and Drake beef. So this is all damage control. Whenever we expose a celebrity that they didn't want us to expose, they do damage control by bringing attention to that character with an event. That way it distracts everybody from the fact that we just exposed them. So that's what they do. Make sure you guys go check out her video after you watch this one and subscribe to her channel. The link is in the description. So let's get into this video. Ever since Divine Sade made that video, I couldn't unsee it. You know, this one is extremely obvious. Right here you can see they have the same eyes, the same smile, and the same face overall. Man, it's crazy how obvious this one is, especially right here. Sometimes I get confused on which character is which, because in this comparison they look so much alike. So here's some more comparisons of their smile. They literally have the same smile and the same teeth. And here's another really good comparison. And if you notice, they're both wearing hoop earrings in this picture as well. And I didn't even notice that until later on after I made these comparisons. But yeah, that just makes it more obvious, because not only do these two characters look alike, but they even dress the same. And again, right here, you can see them both wearing the hoop earrings again. And they both have this very masculine head shape. If you notice right here, you can really see it in both of these characters. They have the same big head, and it's like a long face with this masculine jawline. But I'll get more into that later. So here's another really good comparison that I made, where you can really see the resemblances. They literally have the same eyes, the same nose, the same mouth, the same chin, the same jawline, the same head, and the same eyebrows. You know, they both have these very bushy eyebrows. Here's some pictures of their side profile, because they look so much alike from the side as well. Right here you can really see the similarities in their eyes and their jawline. Here's some more comparisons of their side profile. It's funny how even their ears look very similar right here as well. So this one is just undeniable. And again, shout out to Divine Sade for even finding this one. Here's another comparison where they're literally posing in the same exact way. And notice how Queen Naija is wearing orange with an orange background. And we already know that orange equals 33, just like masonry. But she's also doing this because orange is the sacral chakra, so that people can lust over that character, which is very nasty considering that these characters are men. But like I said, I'll get more into that later. Now let's get into all of the gematria connections between these two characters. So Kendrick Lamar's wife's name is Whitney Alford. And as you can see, Queen Naija and Whitney Alford have the same exact gematria with the number 92 in the same cipher. And then we see that Queen Naija and Whitney Alford also match up in the reverse reduction cipher. Queen Naija equals 56. And 56 backwards is 65, and Whitney Alford equals 65. So Queen Naija has a weird name. I thought Queen Naija was just her stage name, but apparently it's actually her real name. As you can see, Queen Naija's real name is Queen Naija Bulls, and Bulls is a very strange last name, and I'll get into that later. But as you can see, Queen Naija's full name, Queen Naija Bulls, equals 163 in the ordinal cipher, and Kendrick Lamar wife also equals 163 in the ordinal cipher. So apparently he's not actually married to Whitney Alford yet, so technically she's not his wife but his fiance, right? Because apparently they haven't actually gotten married, so the wife title doesn't really apply yet until they get married. But even when you type in Kendrick Lamar fiance, they still have the same gematria. As you can see, Queen Naija Bulls equals 163 and 978, and Kendrick Lamar fiance also equals 163 and 978. So no matter which way you type it in, they're still going to have the same gematria. Then we see that their first names also share the same gematria. So Whitney equals 92 and Queen equals 92 as well. And then their last names also share the same gematria. Bulls equals 46, and Alford equals 46 as well in the same cipher. Another connection is with Whitney Alford's birthday. So Whitney was born on May 12th, and her other character Naija is 12 in gematria. So that's a direct connection between these two characters. And I noticed that Whitney is currently 38 years old at the time of all this beef going on. So there's a possibility that she might fake her death, or Kendrick Lamar might die, or somebody around them might fake their death in the near future, or somebody around Queen Naija as well. You know, it could go both ways. And it's in plain sight because her name is Whitney, just like Whitney Houston, who faked her death. So there's a huge possibility that someone around one of these characters might fake their death. And if you look at her posts right now, she has 17 posts, and kill equals 17 in gematria, and she's following 117, so you see that 17 again. But anyways, the connection here is with her Instagram name. Their Instagram names are never by coincidence. They always have a specific name as their username because it matches up with their other character. And her Instagram name is Blushed by Wit. As you can see, Blushed by Wit equals 513, just like her other character's full name, Queen Naija Bulls, which also equals 513 in the same cipher. I can't make this up, man. Their social media names are always purposely done. Nothing they do is by coincidence. And then the nail in the coffin, not only do these two characters look exactly alike, have the same gematria in so many different ways, but the nail in the coffin right here is that Kendrick Lamar's wife, Whitney, follows Queen Naija on Instagram. I can't make this up. It's all in plain sight. And I bet she did this after Divine Sade exposed her, because they have to put the truth in plain sight in some way. And speaking of her Instagram, she has some very symbolic pictures on there. Right here you can see that she's doing one-eye symbolism in plain sight. And Queen Naija also has many pictures doing one-eye symbolism. Like right here, she's doing the one eye, and she's doing the horns, and she's doing the tongue symbolism as well, which is a sign that somebody's possessed by a demon. That's why they got every girl to stick out her tongue on social media with that filter back in the day. But anyways, here we see Kendrick Lamar's wife doing one-eye symbolism again with the shadows. And then here we see Queen Naija doing one-eye symbolism again, and she has the orange background, which, like I said, represents the sacral chakra, so that when you see this, you want to lust over the character. And then she's wearing this animal print, and the animal print is also symbolic to getting you to lust over the character. This is why there's so many female celebrities that wear this animal print. It triggers the animalistic part of your brain so that you won't be conscious no more. And keep in mind, if you're already conscious, this stuff won't have an effect on you, so don't worry about that. You know, if you know the symbolism, it can't affect you. But if you're a bot and you have no idea of anything I'm talking about, and you just blindly love celebrities, then this stuff is going to have an effect on your brain. So this is why they do it. And she's also doing a triangle with her hand. You know, I just noticed that right now. Celebrities are very symbolic, man. You'll be surprised the small, intricate details that they do to have symbolism. And like I said, it's very nasty that they created this character and tried to get people to lust over her, because she's actually a man, and it's very obvious, and you can really notice it with her other character. So right here you can tell that Kendrick Lamar's wife is actually a man. Technically, this is Kendrick Lamar's husband, because she's the man in the relationship and he's the woman. As you can see right here, she has some very broad shoulders. She has a very masculine jawline. She has the short hair going on. You know, everything is in plain sight that she's a man. She has the very bushy eyebrows, which is another masculine trait. So it's very obvious she's a man. She's extremely tall in comparison to Kendrick Lamar. As you can see, she looks like the man in the relationship right here, because she's very tall and he's very short. And notice how she has her huge ass hand on his thigh when it should be the other way around. And then he has his legs crossed while she doesn't, which is inverted again, because normally the female should cross her legs while the man should have his legs open. You know, it's just natural biological ways of sitting. But of course, they love to invert the genders with these characters to get people to normalize this type of behavior. And then we see that if you zoom in on her hand, she has this very large hand in comparison to Kendrick Lamar's hand. and they try to throw you off with these nails. They purposely made the long nails a trend so that real women can get the long nails. And now when these masculine women, you know, these transformer women, celebrities, wear these long nails, it blends in because the long nails were created so that men can try to be women and get away with it. Because if you didn't know, all of these trends are actually created by transformers. That's why trend sounds similar to transformer. You know, I can't say the word, but the beginning of that word is what I'm referring to. So if you notice, they purposely made the long nails a trend because if a man has long nails and he's trying to be a woman, then it blends in and you won't notice that his hand is actually very large. You know, the long nails give an illusion that is just the long nails and not the actual hand. So this is how they do magic and sorcery to get you to not notice these details. But if you're not programmed, then you can really see right through this. And I'm not saying women can't get their nails done or paint their nails. That's not a big deal. But what I'm saying is, what is the obsession with these long fingernails? You know, that's clearly an agenda because you can just get it short. But they purposely want you to look like a man to blend it all in. So I'm just putting that out there. I don't recommend for women to get long nails due to this agenda. And here's some pictures of Kendrick Lamar's husband with their children. And these are fake children, by the way. If you notice, they never look like their children. These two children look nothing like Kendrick Lamar or Whitney. So it's just very obvious that they're fake. And this picture really creeped me out because at first glance, it looks like a normal, happy picture, right? But when you zoom in on her masculine ass hands, you can really see how creepy this creature looks. You know, not only does that look like a masculine hand, but that doesn't even look like a human hand at all. So this is a very creepy picture. I bet most people never even caught on to that. Now let's get into all of the connections. So Queen Naija has 2 children, CJ and Legend, with 2 different men. And that's a huge agenda. You know, I don't know much about this character, but I do know that she pushes a lot of agendas when it comes to toxic relationships. So that's exactly what she's doing right here. You know, this is why she has 2 children with 2 different fathers. That's a huge agenda that I won't even get to right now. But the connection here is that Queen Naija has 2 children and her other character, Whitney, also has 2 children. And ironically, her daughter's name is Uzi and her son's name is Enoch. But I find it funny that they named their daughter Uzi, and Uzi is a male character that is obviously very feminine. And I made a video about this a year ago because Uzi actually admitted that he's a girl and he started calling himself Leslie. So you guys can go check that video out. The link's in the description. Now let's move on to the connections with Queen Naija and Kendrick Lamar, because these are clear connections. Like I said earlier, her last name is Bulls, and Bulls is kind of a masculine reference, you know, just like Sandra Bullock. But anyways, the connection here is that her last name is Bulls, and Kendrick Lamar has this picture where he's wearing a Bulls shirt. As you can see, he has this red shirt with the Bulls basketball team. So this is a direct connection, you know, because what are the chances that her last name is Bulls and he's wearing a Bulls shirt? And he's not even from Chicago, so it doesn't make sense for him to be wearing this. And in 2019, the official Bulls Twitter account even made a post about it, and they said, "Happy birthday to Kendrick Lamar. Here's a photo of him in a Bulls crew neck." Now let's move on to the next connection, which has to do with Kendrick Lamar's other character. So as you guys know, 2 years ago, I made this video about how Kendrick Lamar is King Los. And if you notice, the first part of his name is King, right? And then when you look at Kendrick's wife's other character, her first name is Queen. So they're putting it in plain sight that these characters are the same, because what are the chances that her name is Queen and then Kendrick's other character's name is King? And I have a playlist with all of my Kendrick Lamar videos. I'll put a link to that in the description. And they purposely put these King and Queen titles in their name to get you to call them that, because it gives them a sense of superiority. This is why his name is King Los and her name is Queen Naija. So from now on, I'll just call her Naija, because when you call them Queen and King, you actually are subconsciously giving them rulership over you. And this is very important because if you notice, these characters date back to the ancient times where kings and queens existed. So this is why I made this video exposing Eminem, because his ancient character was a king. and he was an emperor at that, which is like the king of kings. I highly recommend you guys go watch this video. I'll put a link to it in the description. Now let's move on to the people that she's around, because Kendrick Lamar has a connection to all of these people. So Queen Naija has a song with NBA YoungBoy. As you can see, they have this picture together. And this is a huge connection because NBA YoungBoy said that Kendrick Lamar is the best rapper alive. Check this out.
I say Kendrick Lamar.
And then she has this song with Lil Durk. As you can see, here they are in the music video. And Lil Durk has a tweet about Kendrick Lamar, and he said Kendrick just made it scary. So both of these characters are connected to Lil Durk as well. And then they're both connected to Mulatto. As you can see, Naija has this song with Lotto. And Lotto has said that she listens to Kendrick Lamar's album, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers, every day. So she clearly loves his music. And then another connection is DDG. As you can see, Naija has many pictures with DDG. And they're both doing symbolism in these two pictures as well. And it's ironic that they're doing the horns symbolism, considering that her last name is Bulls. And bulls have the same horns. But anyways, the connection here is that she has songs with DDG, and DDG has mentioned Kendrick Lamar recently. Somebody said, you notice how Kendrick didn't diss DDG? And DDG responded and he said, it would have gotten critical with these bars. Smart move, Kendrick Lamar. So if you notice, all of those characters I just mentioned, Queen Naija is connected to, and they've all shouted out Kendrick Lamar, which is her other character's husband. And the final connection I found was that Queen Naija has this music video with Big Sean. And here we see Kendrick Lamar with Big Sean as well. And one of Kendrick Lamar's first viral songs that made him loved as a lyricist was his feature on Big Sean's song called Control. So this is a huge connection. So I hope you guys see that Kendrick Lamar's wife is actually a man, just like Queen Naija. Both of these characters are very masculine. You know, like I said earlier, they have these very bushy eyebrows, which is a masculine trait. If you look at Kendrick Lamar's wife, her eyebrows are almost connected like a unibrow, which is more common in men. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to drop a like, share, subscribe, turn on post notifications, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe to my Patreon. The links are in the description below. I highly appreciate everyone that joins the Patreon. If you haven't joined the Patreon, you're missing out. We have over 50 videos on there, and half of them are an hour long or more. So there's so much content on there. We have a group chat, and I'm doing phone calls as well with all of my subscribers. So if you're interested in that, make sure you join our Patreon. The link's in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out.